Hey everyone, this is Shashank Mishra, Data Engineer 3 at Expedia, and in next couple of minutes, I will bust top 10 myths about data science. So in the big data world, there are so many job profiles like data engineers, data scientists, data analysts, business analysts, and many more. And no doubt, data scientist is the very popular job profile in it. And that is why so much confusion around it, and especially with the beginners. When they try to explore this job profile, they get confused because of the random content available over the internet, which is very much confusing. They are not able to decide whether this field is a good fit for them. They are not able to decide the resources and why it is happening because of random postings and random myths across the globe for the data science profile. And that's why I will be busting those top 10 myths related to data science and will help you to decide whether data science is a good fit for you or not. And before starting the video, make sure to hit the like button, and if you are new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button and press the notification icon. Also, do check out Scala's data science program conducted by industry experts. Link is in the description box. So let's start now. Myth number 1. Data analysts, data engineers and data scientists are doing the same thing, which is completely wrong because their job and their role and responsibility is completely different. And I know why this is getting confusing because all these people are working under the umbrella of big data. So first let me explain what data engineers are doing. So their responsibility is to actually work on the core engineering stuff and to create those scalable data pipelines so that the raw data can be pulled from multiple sources, then it can be transformed and it can be dumped into the downstream systems. And the data scientist and data analyst, they are dependent on this process because for them the transformed data is something which matters a lot. Without that, they won't be able to represent the meaningful insight, and data scientists won't be able to create their accurate machine learning models. So you shouldn't get confused that all people are doing the same thing. Their skills definitely can overlap, but their responsibilities are completely different. And that's why companies are hiring people for different job profiles, else they would have hired a data professional who is doing all the things together. Myth number 2. PhD or master's degree is required to become a data scientist. This is also completely wrong, and I would say partially true, and it will highly depend on a kind of job role you are getting for. So there are 2-3 segments in the data science as well. Let's say if you are going for specifically to the research field, right? Or if you are going for the applied scientist kind of role, then in that case you need this kind of master's or PhD degree. But if you are someone who is just want to solve the complex data mysteries and want to work around the deep learning, machine learning, then you are the one who is working on the data science stuff using the libraries and using the data analysis approaches in order to create those complex data mysteries. And that's why you don't need any kind of master's degree for that. Even if you have a decent bachelor degree, even if you're coming from a non-tech background, non-CS background, you can definitely get into the data science domain. In my past experience, I have worked with so many data scientists who are just college grads, like doing BTech, BSc, MSc, these kind of thing, and they are not having any sort of master's degree, let's say MTech or MTech in the data science or any kind of PhD degree. Still they are working as a data scientist in good product based companies and making a good money out of it. In my past experience, I have worked with so many data scientists, and guess what? They are not holding any PhD or master's degree. Nowadays everything is all about the skills. So if you have the right skill set for the data scientist, then you can definitely get into it. Based on my experience, since those people didn't had the masters and PhD degree and still they are working in good product based companies getting a high compensation, so if they can do it, you can also definitely do it. Myth number 3. Data scientists need to be a pro coder. This is also completely wrong because as a data scientist, your job is to work on the data extensively. And when we talk about the pro coding, that means like working too much on the competitive programming side or having a very strong knowledge of typical data structures and algorithm. And honestly speaking, in my 5 years of experience, I haven't seen any data science interview process where companies are heavily focusing on data structures and algorithm knowledge from the data scientist. Definitely, your problem solving skills should be good. And in the data science world, we have languages like Python and R, and they provide a very strong support for multiple libraries which you can use in order to solve complex data related problems. So your focus as a data scientist should be that how you can use those libraries, how you can use different modules of it, so that you can create those best data models and machine learning related models. So as a data scientist, make sure you are not wasting too much of your time in the competitive programming or practicing typical data structures and algorithm. Myth number 4: data science is only for CS graduates. For this one, my answer is no, and this is one of the most important myth which need to be busted. Why? Because I would like to share one really important fact. In the data science domain, most of the people are actually coming from non-tech or non-CS background. Very less number of people are actually moving from CS domain to this data science profile. And here I will be sharing my personal experience, even in my college time, and also I have seen this thing in my professional journey. In colleges, companies were visiting to hire candidates for the data science and associate related profile, and majority of the people who cracked those job opportunities were actually from the non-tech and non-CS background. And why? Because those people are really good at problem solving, aptitude, and understanding the business use cases. And this is one of the important thing to understand. In the data science interviews, companies are not gonna focus on typical coding, DSA related things, and that's why the people who are coming from non-tech, non-CS, they can easily crack those interviews because they are good at aptitude part. They understand the case studies. They can figure out what kind of important business matrices they can pull the from data and what kind of complex data related problems they can solve. So do not ever think that being from a non-CS background or non-tech background, you cannot get into the data science profile, because I'm not saying this thing. Facts are actually talking about this part. And here I would like to share my personal experience. Even I have seen this thing during my college time and also in my professional journey. So during college time, when companies were visiting for the placement, specifically for the data profile and associate related profiles, so mostly people from the non-tech and non-CS background were able to crack those job opportunities. Because for the CS graduates, their first priority is still software engineering and they want to make their career into that. And that is why in this data science domain, more and more job opportunities for the non-tech and non-CS people. So nowadays, it doesn't matter if you have that kind of specific to CS related degree doesn't matter. Skill is something which will help you to land into the good job. So if you can acquire the right skill sets for the data science profile, doesn't matter you come from non-tech and non-CS, you will be able to crack this job profile. Myth number 5: data science is only about predictive modeling. Let me talk about an interesting fact. Data scientists invest their 80% of time in cleaning and transforming the data, and 20% of their time goes for the data modeling part. So being a data scientist, if I want to create a very accurate machine learning model and a data model, I need a clean and transformed data. Because when we work on a particular big data solution, there are multiple steps involved in it. And the first and very important part is transforming the data. Nowadays, data is coming from multiple sources, and that raw data sometimes contains the error prone values and also garbage records as well. So in order to create a very accurate machine learning models, if we are not able to clean our data and we are not able to get the meaningful transformed data, without that we cannot create the accurate model. That's why data science is not only about creating the predictive model and regression models. It is a good mix of cleaning and transforming the data, and after that creating the accurate machine learning models. Myth number 6: data science requires a strong mathematical background. This is also completely not true, because being good at the maths is definitely one of the important part of your day-to-day activities as a data scientist, because while analyzing the data, we would definitely need those mathematical concepts. Let's say aggregating the data, statistics part, probability part, but that is something which is a not must to have a skill set to become a data scientist. And as we know, in the data science, we have amazing programming languages like Python and R, which provides a great support for amazing libraries as well, which we can directly use in order to perform those typical mathematical calculation and computation. So until and unless you need to innovate something or you need to create any new algorithm, you don't need to be a mathematics expert. Myth number 7, learning a tool is enough to become a data scientist. So in the data science profile, it is a combination of multiple skills. Technical skills plus non-technical skills both are required to become a good data scientist. You cannot just rely on programming or any specific tool which you think is getting used in data science and you are a good expert of it, then you can become a good data scientist. Because when we work on a complex data problems as a data scientist, we need to interact with multiple stakeholders. We need to work with the business directly so that we can get all the requirements. We can understand the data domain, why we are processing it, what kind of meaningful insights we can bring out from the transformed data, and how we can solve it, what is relevant and what is irrelevant. So everything is needed in this data science domain. So don't think that only technical stuff or any specific tool like a language or a database is just enough to crack the data science profile. You need your non-technical skills and soft skills as your support system to become a good data scientist. Myth number 8, companies are not hiring freshers for the data science role. So this is the most common question which I have received from the freshers, that why companies are not hiring fresher for the data science role. So if we would have discussed this topic 5-6 years back, then this was completely true. Companies were not focusing on the freshers for the data science role. But now in 2022, this thing has changed a lot, because nowadays freshers are self-aware and self-motivated. They are very much interested to explore the fields like data science, data engineering, and they are putting their own efforts without depending on someone else to explore these job profiles. And they are also taking participations actively in the competitions, in hackathons, open source contribution, and trying to build cool projects by their own. And that's how they are able to acquire the right skill sets for the data science profile and also amazing dev skills. And that's why companies are also preferring freshers to join their company for the data science role. Myth number 9, transitioning into data science domain is impossible from the different job profile. So let's say if you're coming from a data related background, let's say you worked as a data engineer, data analyst, business analyst, then this transition will be easy for you because you already know about the data, how to work in it, different tool and tech frameworks. But if you are coming from the different job profiles as in a testing profile or a software engineering profile, then transition into data science is not impossible. It will be challenging. What you need to do, you need to work on right skill set, you need to acquire those skills, and you need to work on some realistic projects which you can showcase in your resume, and you can prove your capability, that how much you are interested for the data science profile and what value you can add into the company as a data scientist. Myth number 10, data science competitions are going to make you an expert. So data science competitions are definitely a good idea to acquire the right skill set and also to get a feeling of data science environment and even to acquire the dev skills. But if you think that by taking participation in hackathons only and to create projects in the competitions can help you to become a data science expert, then this is not true. It will definitely boost your resume. It will add good values in your resume so that you can showcase your good work and what kind of achievements you have. But if you actually want to be an expert, then you need to work on some realistic use cases or a production level application. And for that, what I would suggest to all the freshers, you should target the internships. Like you are in your final years, you can try to get internships via off-campus opportunities. It can be a remote internship or it can be in any of the startup, so that you can get a overall feel how to work on data science, what kind of projects you can create, and those valuable real production level application. as a project you can mention in your portfolio, and that will give a great weightage to your profile. You can showcase your skills, and based on that you will be getting interview calls from amazing companies, and you can also crack the interviews of them. So that's it for this video. I hope I have busted the top 10 myths about data science. And if you find it informative, make sure to like the video. And if you are new to the channel, then subscribe and press the notification icon. Until next time.